Hello again, everybody. Hopefully everybody can make it over to this live stream now, because I've been messing around with the settings and all that kind of stuff with the old YouTube studio, and that's fine. The new one just seemed to be a little bit rubbish. So we're going to start the whole live stream again. Happy New Year to all of you guys out there, even though you've already heard me say this. Thank you everybody for tuning in again. Luan, Damon and Jimmy, NITR and Barbara and Laurie and Tara and Renee, thank you guys so much for joining me again. I thought maybe I'd have to say about refreshing the screen, but maybe I'm live again, I'm not sure. But let's get the names of my patrons on the screen, going along the bottom here as always. And let's also do a quick test. I'm gonna look up here because I've just tried to organize this. Hopefully this is going to work now. This is the moment of truth to see if everything comes up on screen. Yay, we have it. Finally, you guys are on screen and we can see the live chat room for tonight's live stream. So thank you guys for staying in that chat room and for also tuning in before the live stream even started. I'm not sure that I can see people when they tune in before the live stream on this older version of the YouTube studio, but I'm just going to keep it like this because it's better that I can see everything. And also for the super chat as well, if that ever happens, it's good to see what people are saying. I don't understand why they'd get rid of that, because surely the creators want to read what people are saying to them in that section. But anyway, thank you guys. It's been an interesting start to the live stream. I did say before we started that it was going to be interesting to see if it worked, and it just totally didn't work. So I am moderately tempted to just start the stream again and just play the video that I've just played again, just so everybody that then tunes into this version of it will get the whole live stream and it all makes sense to them. And we have had a donation already from Carla, and hopefully this is all now going to go swimmingly because it's a $9.99 donation. Thank you for that, Carla, and it should be up on screen as well. So thank you for the donation. We are going to play the same song again just so anybody watching this on catch up can get the whole live stream with all of the videos that were requested over on Patreon. Thank you guys over on Patreon for asking for songs when I've asked you for those suggestions, so it really does help me out on these live streams. And Sandy has donated $5. Thank you for that, Sandy. There is a message with that, and the message is: how has your family reacted to your YouTube 100k award? Are they so proud? And I think so, probably. It's a number that's hard to digest in terms of thinking how many people that is, because we have football stadiums here in the UK and it's more people than our biggest football stadium, so it is a bit crazy. And yes, I'm sure they are proud and they allow me to do everything music wise. Some parents, I think, have a different view on what they want their kids to do, but they've never held me back or told me to do anything other than what I wanted to do. So that's a massive part of it for everybody. I think if you're allowed to follow your passions, then you will end up being happy in the long run, but also you'll be doing something that you love to do, and that's what it's all about. But Sandy, thank you so much for that donation. I'm just going to play this first video again for those of you who are watching this later. For those of people, it doesn't quite make sense, but for you guys who are watching this on catch up, just to get the full live stream in there. And Jeannie has just donated $10, and the message is: I feel rock on, wingers. Thank you, Jeannie, again for that $10 donation. Everybody in the super chat window, hopefully it's all working and it's all okay. I'm going to be playing this video now. I'll be in the comments section as always, but we are now up and running and we can continue as normal. This is the same song again, Greed, and it's my lyric video for that. Just before I get started with that, Lynn has just donated $50, and the message is: extra care to Marie Judd, Ian Shortall, and Mario Rabatini down under, where it's too scary and 2 on fire. So thank you for that, Lynn, and that is a good point, because those fires in Australia are just crazy, and it's something that I think a lot of people have reported on it in different countries. We're certainly getting it here on the news, but from what I hear, the actual government in Australia were very slow to see the seriousness of it and just to step it up and take action about it. So it's really concerning over there, and like Lynn says, extra care to the 3 that are definitely involved here in the live streams. I haven't seen Ian yet, or Mario when he does get in the house, if he can do. Obviously there are a lot of things over there, but also Marie, if she makes it in here, then we can say hello, and hopefully they will be able to, but there are probably more serious things going on there to make sure that they're safe, and don't worry about tuning into a live stream when all of that's going on. So our thoughts and our prayers are with everybody over in Australia, and hopefully they manage to get some kind of handle on it. But thank you, Lynn, for that message and the donation, and we will see, fingers crossed, that the donations are coming in for the fire services, but also the animals that are affected, because it's such a wide problem, not only getting the fires under control, but the wildlife that are trying to escape from it. So it's a huge undertaking for everybody involved there, but fingers crossed that more donations will happen and we can help the people over in Australia to make it through it. But thank you, Lynn, for that. I'm just going to play this video. I'm going to be in the comment section as always, and then I'll chat to you guys after this. Rock.
Now the fire's burning low.
And that was my song called Greed. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And that's available on my album called Persistence, which you can find at wingsofpegasus.com/store. I always have problems with my forward slashes and stores whenever I'm saying the website. Just go to wingsofpegasus.com and you will be able to find the album. It's also on iTunes and Amazon as well. But thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. And just while that was playing, to bring up on screen, we had a super chat donation, and this was from Ian, and it was $111. And let me get the message up on screen because it was for getting to 111,000 subscribers. So thank you for that, Ian. And we will be playing Ian's request, as he always does, with either Amelia or Don't Cry. It's going to be Don't Cry tonight, later on, probably the last video of the live stream tonight. And I'll play the one with my sister in the video, because there's a couple of versions of it, or maybe a few versions where I did a lyric video for it as well, but we will be getting to that later on. Thank you, Ian, so much for that. Massively appreciated. And we've had another donation, and this is James, and it's $2. So thank you for that, James. And there's no message with it yet that I can see, but at least everything is on screen and I can see what's going on, unlike when we first started the other live stream earlier tonight. And there is so much going on with the live stream in terms of the changing and having all of the different YouTube studio things that are coming in. I guess you have to use YouTube quite a lot to see all of the things that might be changing in the future with the live stream studio, but keeping up to speed with it all. And there is an expression called, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's something that I do say a lot. And with these live streams, I don't really see a problem with the YouTube live stream as it is. And everything that's set up and the dashboard that you get is all really organized. And now they're changing it to something different. So unfortunately, that first version of the live stream tonight was just using that other system. And now we've reverted back to what I used to use, which seems to be a lot better. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. A massive shout out to my patrons at the bottom of the screen as well. You guys know who you are. You're mostly in the comments section tonight, as always. So thank you for joining me, and in the super chat section as well. We've had a little bit more action in the super chat window, and it's Jan Petter Norli Olsen who has donated 20 Norwegian kroner, I think that is. So thank you for that donation. I can't quite see all of the message at the moment, but hopefully I might be able to see it later. It looks like the top says cool, and then I can't see what the guy's doing at the moment. So thank you so much for that donation, and thank you everybody for tuning in the live stream tonight, but also in the chat room, everything going on there. Also, hello to Neil, who is in the house, who just joined, and all of my sheriffs and deputies. Technically, there's one sheriff, which is Laurie, and then her deputies that look after the chat room all night. So we will hopefully be okay tonight. I think we're really lucky with the live streams. With the trolls that don't really turn up, I've probably now cursed us and everyone's gonna come and start doing trolling stuff in the chat room, but it's so well looked after by you guys. So thank you every one of the moderators for keeping an eye on the live chat room. And just while I'm talking about the chat room, we've had more activity in the super chat donation window, and Laurie has donated $20.20, and the message is, for no technical problems the rest of the year, with a smiley face and a heart. That would be great if we don't get any more technical problems. I think it was just something that whenever the software is changed and you have to change to something new, obviously you want to be up to date with everything and keep up to date with all of the changes, but then when you use something and it was worse than the original version of it, then it just makes sense to go back to that original version. And hopefully it's not going to be mandatory to use the new version. If it is, I'm just going to have to work out some other way of doing it, in that I'll be able to see everything on screen as it is now. But thank you, Laurie, for that donation. And Thomas has donated another 50 Norwegian kroner, I do believe that is. Let me see if I can catch that message. And the message is, got your CD and the digital download. I'm happy to report that my 12-year-old son loves it, with a smiley face. So thank you for that, Thomas, and that's great that your son likes it, and thank you so much for buying it in the first place, because it really does make a difference. Every single sale at wingsofpegasus.com, it's one of those things that I decided to get control of my music and not stream it out to websites that give you 0.0001 of a pence per play, and just sell it all through my website, because then at least you guys get the product. And I do sign CDs and do all that kind of stuff on the website, but also it means that I've got control of my music, and it's something that will then, I guess it's paying for itself, because you get the money, all that $11.99, and the album, obviously the shipping fees added on top of that. But having that money for the album means that it's a business, and you can start to run it like a business, rather than maybe people listening to your music and getting 1 pence after about 1,000 plays, because you can't do a lot with 1p, unfortunately. So thank you so much, everyone who has purchased the album from my website, because that means all of the money for that album goes to me, and like I said, it makes such a difference to everything. But you guys who have donated in the super chat, and everybody that donates every Tuesday on the live streams, and you guys over on Patreon as well, thank you so much. But if we can as well spike the likes, something that with the whole issues that we started with, I've forgotten to say that, but if we can give this a thumbs up, that would be great, because I think we've probably lost all the thumbs up that happened in that first live stream, but hopefully we can start spiking the likes at the 18th minute almost of this live stream. So thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in, and we're going to be jumping into the next video. I'm going to try and keep a track of everything, because Luan has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that donation, Luan. I can't see the message at the moment, but I might be able to catch it in the comments window at the side of the screen. So let's have a look. Luan says, for troll, be gone spray, with some rock horns. So thank you, Luan, for that. And we will be looking out for some troll repellent, if there is such a thing. We could search for it on Amazon or something and see what happens, but I'm not sure how you would apply that to your computer screen, maybe to keep them away. But thank you, Luan, so much for that donation, and for everybody tuning in. If you could hit that thumbs up if you haven't so far, that would be great as well. We're going to be moving into the next video, and this is going to be my cover of Van Halen's Eruption. And when I first recorded this, I just forgot to put the drums on it, so you'll just have to make do without it sounding totally authentic, but hopefully the guitar sounds relatively authentic in terms of what Eddie played on that original version. But I think we might have another donation, actually two, because Laurie has donated $10 again. Thank you, Laurie, so much for that. The message is, don't forget the record-breaking likes last week. That is a good point from Laurie. So last week we had a New Year's Eve live stream, and I was fully expecting maybe 2 or 3 people to tune in, because it was that time in terms of having that New Year's Eve celebration and going out and not looking at a live stream. So thank you everybody for joining me last week and making it a record-breaking stream for the likes, which was absolutely crazy. I'm not sure that's going to be beaten. We can always try. Fingers crossed, we'll keep pushing forward and see how many likes we can get on the live streams. But it was just a crazy number, because we go for 300 every Tuesday, and that was over 400, I think. So everybody who hit that thumbs up button last week, thank you so much for doing that. It really does help the channel to grow, and everyone who has done it this week as well, it's massively appreciated, and it helps the live stream videos to get out there as well, so people find out about these videos and more people can join us on a Tuesday. So it really does make it a great place to be with you guys on a Tuesday night. We have had another donation, and it's Rodney who has donated $20. Thank you for that, Rodney. The message is, can't always make the live stream, but love when I do. So thank you for joining us tonight, Rodney, and for that donation. And then Jen has donated $5, and the message is Calfolk wants to know who your favorite artist is. And if this is a question about artist musically, it's really difficult because of the amount of videos that I've looked at and artists that I've looked at that I didn't listen to a lot before, but since doing analysis videos on them, I've now heard a lot more of their stuff. And having a favorite artist, I think for me, is impossible. I'm always going to go for Jimi Hendrix. Was the guy that I first started listening to. So in terms of his artistry and his writing and his playing, it's all rolled into one. So he's always going to be one of my favorites, but only because of that I started listening to him and then started playing the guitar. And then I started getting into hard rock in the 80s, all of that kind of music. So Winger were one of those bands that I have been into maybe since my early 20s, and that has consistently been the case from then on. And there are so many that I've listened to when I was young because my parents used to have different tapes in the car. There was Michael Jackson, George Michael, and Tina Turner was a massive one as well. Every Saturday we used to go to this event, and we also used to have in the car Tina Turner. So I've listened to so many different artists in my lifetime, but in terms of guitarists, Jimi Hendrix was there first, and then Gary Moore, and then Eddie Van Halen. And I am going to play this video soon, I promise. But yeah, Eddie Van Halen, Steve Vai as well, getting into the 80s, Joe Satriani. And I've mentioned these guys before, but they were guys that I listened to and started to want to work out what they were doing and how they were playing. Red Beach with Winger as well, one of those guitarists that I did spend a lot of time listening to because I loved the way that he played his legato runs with tapping. But let's get into this next video. Thank you for that donation, Jen, and for that question, and for Calfolk who wanted to know that in the first place. But thank you for that $5 donation. Empress Mermaid has donated $5 as well. Thank you so much for that. I can't see the message at the moment, but maybe we'll be able to see it after this video. So this is my cover of Eruption by Van Halen, and Eddie Van Halen. Of course, Van Halen was the name of the band, but this is Eddie's classic track that is so difficult, in my opinion, to get all the notes of and just play it correctly, because lots of people do the cover and start putting in other stuff that isn't actually in there. But I hope you guys enjoy this. I'll see you guys after this. Rock! And there we have it. That was my cover of Eruption. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And at the end of the video, the reason that I go quiet for a long time is just trying to turn down the volume without hearing loads of clanking of the whammy bar and the strings, and trying to keep it all quiet and gradually turn the volume down. So I wanted a nice quiet ending to the performance rather than just ruin it all with some clanging at the end. So that was the reason for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And during that as well, we had some action in the super chat donation window. Thank you guys so much for every single donation tonight. And Empress Mermaid has donated $5, which I mentioned, but I didn't get to the message. And the message was, okay, so Marty McFly puts you in, and the message has just flown off because we had another donation, but puts you in the DeLorean and is taking you back to experience any concert / music event in history live. Which event would you choose? That is such a difficult thing. Ooh, I don't know. It probably would have to be Woodstock, maybe, because so many great performances came from Woodstock. And how many videos have I done on Woodstock on this channel, just because it was performance after performance after performance after performance of just top talent. And even though at the time all of the technology wasn't really up to speed with the speakers, but just witnessing something like that, and you guys all know what year I'm talking about, 1969, Woodstock, having all of those great performances, it might have to be that. But then as soon as I say that, I'll think of something else, and I'll think, oh, maybe another festival, but I'll probably go for that. But that's just one of those things that I think, for me, to have been there at something that I know so well from videos, it would have been so cool. And there might be some people that have actually been there, which will be great to actually talk to them to see what it was like. But I know that at the time, the speakers and all that kind of stuff was so in its infancy. And I've mentioned this about the Beatles, when in the mid-60s they realized that the technology didn't exist for the demand of the people that wanted to actually watch the band. They couldn't hear the band because of the screaming, and the Beatles were one of those bands that really made technology actually get up to speed with everything that was going on with the live performances. So yeah, it just really went crazy from then on. But thank you so much for that donation, and for the other donations that we've got in this super chat window. And it looks like maybe we have something that's going on which is a bit weird in our live stream window, because we have nobody watching at the moment somehow, but comments are still coming in. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in and for leaving all the comments. It's now looking a bit weird because there's nobody watching, but there are a lot of people watching. So the stats from YouTube have really gone awry at the moment. But thank you so much for that donation. And somebody said that I saw Jimi Hendrix live, and wow, or maybe somebody said that, because I certainly didn't see him. I might be older than people think, but I'm not quite that old, unfortunately. But this is something that I was talking to various artists. This is the great thing about doing these analysis videos, is that I get to talk sometimes with the guys that I have featured, and they'll let me in on actually going to watch guys playing, like Frank Marina, for example, going to see Jimi Hendrix live and actually having that experience. That must have been so cool. So, of course, talking to Frank Marina, as you guys know on this channel that he has been on, and we have spoken at length about many things, and I will have to upload more videos of Frank and I talking, but just talking to a guy like that, not only for his own ability, his own artistry, but some of the stories that he has as well, is just fascinating for me. But anyway, thank you so much for the donations in the super chat window, and Empress Mermaid and Carla as well, who has donated $9.99, and the message is new like record was 418 with a smiley winky face, and that is what happened last week for the New Year's Eve live stream. Just crazy amount of likes. Thank you so much, everybody for liking last week and liking this week. And now there are people watching the live stream, so thank you guys for tuning in. It's now over 200, so it makes sense that we are getting comments. But Mario is in the house as well, so everybody say hello to Mario. I've just noticed all the hellos that are going through the chat room section, so thank you everybody for drawing my attention to that, and everybody say hello to Mario, because that's how we roll on a Tuesday night in the live streams. As soon as Mario's here, we all say hi. Anyway, we're going to be getting into the super chat window again because Beanie Angela has donated $5, and the message is, wow, play on Phil. So thank you for that, Angela, and for the donation. And Ian has donated $100, and Ian's just going crazy tonight, but thank you so much for that, Ian. The message is thank you for playing Amelia for Emilia last week on the New Year's live stream. So no problem, Ian. As I mentioned to you guys last week in the chat room, it was played for Emilia, which is Ian's daughter, and it is so close that that's what he requested to play on the New Year's Eve live stream is what I'm calling it, but the New Year's live stream is just as good. So thank you, Ian, for that crazy donation. It's massively appreciated. And Linda has donated $5, and the message is maybe the changes on YouTube include a better super chat window. Hey, we can hope, can't we? And thank you for that, Linda, the donation. But also, this is something that's changed on the new version. They've done the black background with the white text over the top, rather than now it's the white background with the black text over the top. So they've just literally inverted that color to make it different and new, whereas I think it's fine just with black on the white. It's fine for reading. If anything, the black background is worse for me because it doesn't light up my face. When there's a white screen in front of me, it's like having lighting. So it means that you can see my face a little bit better than if it's just a black screen, because then there's no lighting there. So even this is better from a lighting perspective. But thank you for that, Linda. And we've had another donation from Jen, and we can't quite see the message yet. Maybe we'll pick that up in a second. But we're going to be getting into the next video. And this is going to be the first 2020 airing of the That's Metal to My Ears video, and this is requested by Laurie over on Patreon, and one of those videos that I think is just requested a lot by Laurie, so thank you for that. And everybody else who is of, I don't know how to say, a weak disposition maybe, because this has nudity in it, unfortunately, and it's my nudity, so apologies for that. But it's me running around London without a shirt on and playing a song that is attempting to typify everything about the 80s. Everyone in the hard rock bands was topless, so I just went for that kind of vibe, and also just sprinting around London just seemed like the right thing to do, and a rock and roll thing to do. So this is my video called That's Metal to My Ears. It's very 80s, so brace yourself for some guitar work, some guitar solos, some harmony vocals, all that kind of stuff, and a bit of an outrageous video. And I'll see you guys after this. If you can hit that thumbs up as well, that would be great, and I hope you guys enjoy this if you're into this kind of thing. But I'll see you guys after. Rock! And there we have it. That was my song called That's Metal. And it looks like at the moment, because I've got a live feed on my screen now, which is something that I do, hopefully you guys can hear this and it's not too scrambled. And this is the problem. I'm going to blame the That's Metal video for this sudden pixelation and almost like when you shouldn't be seeing something, that censorship of the video. So maybe it's just the That's Metal to my ears is just too much to be shown on the live stream. So apologies if it's all gone a little bit pixelated, and maybe even this is a bit pixelated. I'm going to have a look at my feed to see what it looks like, and it looks like it might be okay. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If you guys can let me know in the comments section if it's still running okay and you can see me and the talking is working, you can hear the words at the same time that I'm saying them, being synchronized, that would be good. And it might just have been that video. Literally, it was too much for YouTube to take on, and we can all blame Laurie for that. So it was her request over on Patreon, and it seems like now it's okay. It was just purely saved for the censorship of the That's Metal video. So thank you guys for letting me know in the comments section, and maybe on the playback it'll be the same. I don't know whether it was something that was going on with YouTube or whether it was the feed of the live stream. But even having said that, my internet recently has been really bad, and this is Virgin Media, by the way, who have, I think, 3 or 4 nights in a row just disconnected the internet. So then I've had to wait for a couple of hours to then upload videos to YouTube and gone to bed very, very late. And it might be something to do with them and losing a bit of the upload speed. This is the problem, unfortunately, because I'm paying for the best internet ever that they can provide, the biggest or the largest upload rate in terms of megabytes per second, and it's still been a bit unreliable. So I might have to look at in the future switching to another company so that it's more consistent, because there's nothing worse than being ready to live stream and do this kind of thing on a Tuesday night and then being let down by the people that are supposed to be providing the internet when we're just ready to go and ready to live stream. So unfortunately it's just the way that it seems to be working at the moment, but fingers crossed this stream's still going to continue. It might just have been for that video, and it was destiny that we weren't going to watch That's Metal to my ears with a clear picture. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and sticking with me and hitting that thumbs up. If we get a chance to hit that thumbs up button, if you haven't already, that would be great. I'm not sure how many we're up to. Maybe somebody can put that in the chat room. That'd be great. But we have had another donation, and the message with this is we've had Jen, first of all, with a $5 donation. So thank you so much for that, Jen, again. And the message is, thanks Brad, superficial moment ahead. This is for the lack of Gillette action, with a smiley face. So thank you for that, Jen. And I'm not sure what the Gillette action is. I think with the video, this is something that is mildly humorous because it's something that people say on the video, mostly men. They say, oh, I can't believe that you shaved your chest for the video. And not everybody is hairy and has a hairy chest. I don't have a hairy chest, and it's just something that I think all of my hair has just gone to the top of my head and it's been sacrificed from my chest. So some guys don't shave their chest, and I'm one of those. It just is like that. So for the messages that I get from other guys, I can't help it. Unless you want me to stick some hair to my chest that will blow off in the wind, that'd be great. But yeah, there's no shaving going on. It's just the way that I am. But thank you so much. Again, too many details, I think, for that. And I'm surprised that this part of the live stream isn't pixelated either because of the subject matter. But thank you for that donation. And thank you everybody in the super chat donations, because we've had a few more after Jen as well. And Miss Brunel has said, great work, Phil, and that was a $20 donation. Thank you so much. The message is, great work, Phil. Would love analysis of clips from the Folk Seattle channel. Thank you for that. I will add that to my list. And thank you so much for the $20 donation. And Batfink Reynolds is in the house and has donated $5. Thank you so much for that. And the message is, Phil, did Frank Marino ever mention if he too had played an electronic Flumbertron? And if not, why not? What a great question. And surprisingly, we didn't cover that. But maybe it's one of those questions that I will put in a future live stream, or if I do another video with Frank, which I'm sure I'm going to do in the future, because Frank is such a cool guy, and he was so kind about the channel when he did appear on here, and we did say about doing another one, but also gigging together at some point if he makes it over to the UK, or if I ever get over to the USA and spend any time over there. It'd be really cool to do a show together. We'd have to work out the logistics of it, but we will see. But yes, good question, and it remains unanswered, but maybe I can pose that to him in the future. But thank you so much for that donation. Batfink Reynolds and Claire has donated $9.99, and the message is, aloha, would love to see analyses of Creedence Clearwater Revival, rock on. So thank you for that, and you will be able to find that on the channel somewhere. And if you're typing in the search window, British guitarist analyzes Creedence Clearwater Revival, you should be able to get there, and it will be something that I think John Fogerty's name might pop up and you'll be able to find it. So thank you, Claire, for that, and it will be on there somewhere. Thank you for that $9.99 donation. And Carl has donated $6.66. Thank you so much for that, Carl. And let's have a little look if I can catch this message. I'm not sure. I'm going to have a little scroll up. I won't be able to see it, unfortunately, but it has just popped up because Laura, Tennessee Moppy, has just donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Laura. And Carl said, put towards Across the Pond Fund. So thank you for that, Carl. I will put that in a fund for Crossing the Pond. And let me just try and catch Laura's donation as well. Thank you so much for that, Laura. And I can just catch it. Here we go. So the message is, finally, we're talking about your hair. This is always something that used to come up on the live streams when I first started, and it's making its way back into the live streams about my hair. It's unfortunately something that isn't avoidable, especially in the comment section of the analysis videos. A lot of people comment on my hair and how sometimes I look like the person that I'm analyzing when the person is in the 1970s and the 1980s. It just so happens that my haircut hasn't moved on since then. Not that I was old enough to have this haircut back then, but I seem to have picked it up a little bit later on and a little bit out of touch with the times, but that's exactly how I like to have it. And I think everybody has this, that when you have a particular haircut that you've had for a long time, you just keep having the same haircut and you can't imagine not having that haircut. And I'm exactly the same, that if I suddenly had a really short haircut, it would just be really weird, because you get used to feeling it on your ears and your face and your neck. To then not have any of that, I might catch a lot more colds, because this could be keeping me warm in the winter. But thank you, Laura, for that. While I'm just mentioning Laura and also Vince, who was in the house earlier, we can mention the after party that is on the Wings of Pegasus supporters group on Facebook. So you can head over there after this live stream, because Vince hosts the after party over there, and also Laura can allow you onto that. You can just click the join button and pretty much you'll get allowed onto there, and you can keep that conversation going from the chat room tonight on that Facebook live stream. But thank you so much, Laura, for that. And Pam has donated $19.99, and the message is, thanks for all you do for us. I love seeing the surprise videos each night. I'm spreading the word about you, rock. So thank you for that donation, Pam. It's massively appreciated, all of you guys in the super chat donation window, and thank you for the kind words and for spreading the word as well. I think when I started this live stream, it was 111, it was 111111 subscribers, and it might still be that now, so it's at least an easy number to remember, unless somebody now in the chat room hits the subscribe button and then it'll go up one and then we'll lose all of those ones. But it was good while it lasted, or maybe it's down a bit, because that is certainly understandable after the That's Metal to My Ears video that I've just played. But fingers crossed it is still okay and around that amount. I think on YouTube now, on the channel, you only get to see 111,000, and you don't get to see the extra little digits afterwards that I get to see as the owner of the channel. It gives me a little bit more detail. But thank you so much everybody for hitting that like button, and it looks like 1112 is now what it's at, so thank you for that. And we are at 260 likes, so we are closing in on 300. If you get a chance to hit that thumbs up, it would be massively appreciated. We'll see if we can get there. I'm going to play the last video of the live stream for tonight because it is a little bit late here. It's already 1 AM. We did have this live stream that started early and it didn't quite work because I used the new YouTube studio, which wasn't as good as this one. And we've gone back to the old version, which hopefully I can keep on using. But let's get into this. Again, this is going to be a request from Ian, and this time it's going to be Don't Cry with my sister in it, who I mentioned last week. I have told that she's in this video, but I don't think she has any understanding of what I mean or what the live stream is or who tunes in and all that kind of stuff. So here she is, and here I am with my song called Don't Cry. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'll be in the comment section as always, and I'll see you guys after. And yes, Laurie, let's spike the likes during this video. Rock!
Go around thinking of her 1,000 times when you think you see her face in the crowd. Now she's gone, no way of ever knowing. Don't cry for me, don't cry. Here's what she'd say. Cry for me, don't cry. No more shopping in the hall, only empty spaces.
So hopefully I'm live again.